The little couple star Zoe Klein marriage her secret boyfriend. Her boyfriend name is Zach. Zoe Klein's parents and brother very happy. I will explain everything. Zoe Klein, daughter of Jen Arnold and Bill Klein from TLC's Beloved, the little couple, has captured our hearts with her resilience, her humor, and her undeniable spark. We've celebrated her milestones, cheered her victories, and admired her unwavering spirit. But friends, there's a chapter unfolding in Zoe's life. A chapter so beautiful, so tender, and until now, so fiercely protected that it remained hidden from the public eye. This is the story of Zoe Klein's secret love, her journey to forever, and the wedding that left her family. And soon, we hope all of you overflowing with joy. This is the story of Zoe and Zach. Before we dive into this extraordinary love story, it's crucial to understand the context. Zoe Klein was born with a rare form of skeletal dysplasia, spondyophyseal dysplasia. Her journey documented alongside her parents JYN and Bill, both little people themselves, and her brother Will, has been one of medical triumphs, unwavering familial support, and navigating a world not always designed for her. Through countless surgeries, physical therapy sessions, school challenges, and simply growing up in the spotlight, Zoe has shown us what true courage looks like. She's intelligent, witty, outspoken, and possesses a quiet strength that belies her stature. Her teenage years, understandably, became more private. Jen and Bill, fiercely protective of their children's right to a normal adolescence away from the cameras, shielded Zoe and Will from the constant documentary lens. We saw glimpses, family trips, celebrations. But the intimate details of their personal lives, especially Zoe's journey into young adulthood and romance, remained respectfully off-screen. And that's where our secret begins. Imagine it. Houston, Texas. A few years ago, Zoe, navigating the complexities of high school, her passions evolving. She'd always loved animals, shown a keen intellect, and was developing a strong sense of self. It wasn't at a grand event or a celebrity party. It was ordinary, beautifully ordinary. Sources close to the family paint a picture of a chance meeting that blossomed into something extraordinary. Perhaps it was a mutual friend introducing them at a small gathering. Maybe they were both volunteering at an animal shelter, a cause deeply important to Zoe. Or perhaps they simply kept bumping into each other at that little independent bookstore Zoe loved. The exact where remains part of their cherished private story. But the who, that's what matters. Zach, that's the name of the young man who quietly stole Zoe Klein's heart. Described by those who know him as intelligent, grounded, kind-hearted, and possessing a wonderfully dry sense of humor that perfectly complements Zoe's own sharp wit. His not from the reality TV world. His normal, and that according to insiders was exactly what Zoe needed and wanted. Crucially, Zach saw Zoe, not Zoe. From TV, not Zoe the little person. He saw Zoe, her brilliance, her stubbornness, her compassion, her dreams, her fears. He connected with her on a fundamental human level. Their shared interests, a love for learning, perhaps science or literature, a similar taste in movies or music, a shared quiet determination formed the bedrock. Their connection wasn't built on spectacle. It was built on genuine friendship, mutual respect, and slowly an undeniable romantic spark. And here's where the secret part truly took root. Zoe, fiercely independent and protective of her private life, especially after growing up documented, knew this budding connection was too precious, too fragile to share immediately. She wanted space for it to grow organically away from speculation, headlines, or the well-meaning but sometimes overwhelming interest of the public. She confided in her parents, Jen and Bill. Very early on, Jen Arnold and Bill Klein are not just TV personalities. They are above all else devoted parents. Their journey to parenthood, documented with heartbreaking honesty, involved immense loss before the joy of adopting Zoe and then Will. Their love for their children is the core of their story. So when Zoe, perhaps a little nervous, sat them down to talk about this new young man, Zach, and her life, their reaction was paramount. By all accounts, Jen and Bill reacted exactly as you'd hope loving parents would. Cautiously, of course. Any parent would be. But with open hearts and minds, they listened intently. As Zoe described Zach, his character, his interests, how he made her feel. They asked thoughtful questions, not interrogations, but genuine inquiries born of care. Their primary concern: Zoe's happiness and well-being. Soon after, Zoe arranged for Zach to meet her parents. This wasn't a grand dinner under studio lights. It was likely a casual meal at home, maybe. Burgers on the patio. The atmosphere, insiders say, was warm, but understandably a little tense initially. Zach, aware of Zoe's background and the protective nature of her parents, was undoubtedly nervous, but those nerves quickly melted away. Zach's authenticity shone through. He was respectful, engaged, and clearly utterly smitten with their daughter. He spoke to Jen and Bill as equals, showing genuine interest in their lives and work. He didn't shy away from Zoe's reality, her disability, her medical history, but he also didn't define her by it. He talked about her ambitions, her opinions, her spirit. JYN, the fiercely intelligent and compassionate physician, reportedly saw in Zach a young man of integrity and kindness. Bill, the entrepreneurial spirit with a big heart and a protective streak, recognized Zach's genuine affection for Zoe and his down-to-earth nature. They were impressed, relieved, and most importantly, they saw the light in Zoe's eyes when she looked at him and his when he looked at her. The parental seal of approval was quietly, happily granted. But what about Will, Zoe's brother? Her partner in crime through childhood adventures, medical procedures, and the unique experience of growing up in their family. Their bond is incredibly special. Introducing a significant other to a sibling dynamic, especially such a close one, can be tricky. But Zoe handled it perfectly. She didn't force interactions. She let Will and Zach find their own rhythm. They discovered shared interests, maybe video games, a particular sport, or a quirky sense of humor. Zach didn't try to replace Will. He respected the profound sibling bond. He became Zoe's boyfriend and Will's friend. Seeing his sister genuinely happy, and having a new buddy in Zach reportedly made Will very happy, a simple phrase carrying immense weight from a protective brother. So, the foundation was set. The secret was safe within the loving confines of the Klein Arnold family. Zoe and Zach continued to date, their relationship deepening away from the public gaze. They navigated the normal challenges of young love, school pressures, future plans, occasional disagreements, but with a solid foundation of mutual respect, shared values, and unwavering support from Zoe's immediate family. As the relationship matured, the question of forever naturally arose. Zach, deeply in love and certain Zoe was his future, began planning. He knew Zoe intimately. High love for intimate moments over grand gestures, her deep connection to family, her appreciation for thoughtfulness. A flashy public proposal filmed for TV? Absolutely not. Zach aimed for profound, personal meaning. The setting was perfect. Beautifully landscaped garden at the family home, transformed with subtle fairy lights as dusk settled. It was a place Zoe loved, a place of safety and comfort. Jen and Bill were discreetly present, hidden, just out of sight, but ready to witness the moment. Knowing its significance, Will was likely nearby, buzzing with contained excitement. Zach led Zoe outside under a pretense, perhaps a quiet walk or to see the newly bloomed roses. The air was soft, the light magical. They stopped in a special spot. Zach, looking into Zoe's eyes, spoke from the heart. He told her how she had changed his world, how her strength inspired him, how her laughter was his favorite sound, how her intelligence challenged and delighted him. He spoke of their journey together, the quiet moments, the shared dreams. He spoke of loving her wholly and completely. Then he got down on one knee, not as a gesture of pity or condescension, but as a timeless act of devotion, meeting her gaze with love and respect. He opened a small box, revealing a stunning, elegant ring chosen with care, likely with subtle input or approval from Jen to ensure it was perfect. And he asked the question, Zoe Kling, will you make me the happiest man alive? Will you marry me? Tears welled in Zoe's eyes, tears of pure, overwhelming joy. Her yes was reportedly instant, breathless, filled with utter happiness. They embraced a moment suspended in time, pure love radiating from them. Then JYN, Bill, and Will emerged, their faces all light with tears and radiant smiles, engulfing the newly engaged couple in a giant emotional family hug. The secret engagement was sealed with family love. with the engagement a joyful secret shared only with immediate family and a tiny circle of utterly trusted lifelong friends. The planning began. From the outset, Zoe and Zach were clear. This wedding was for them and their closest loved ones. Intimacy was paramount. No TV cameras, no magazine exclusives, no guest list inflated for publicity. This was about celebrating their union authentically, surrounded only by those who have been part of their genuine journey. Venue selection was key. They needed somewhere beautiful but private, accessible for Zoe and imbued with meaning. Did they choose a charming secluded chapel? A family friends? Sprawling picturesque ranch? A serene botanical garden looked exclusively. The exact location remains part of their private treasure trove, but sources emphasize it was chosen for its personal resonance and guaranteed privacy. Montage of elegant intimate wedding inspirations. Delicate lace, soft floral arrangements, peonies, roses, eucalyptus, candle light, rustic wood accents, all in soft focus. No specific venue shown. Zoe with her innate grace and likely, with JYN's impeccable taste guiding her, dove into the details. Her vision, elegant simplicity, soft, romantic colors, perhaps blush, ivory, and sage green. Flowers that were lush and fragrant, but not ostentatious. A dress. Ah, the dress. Imagine it. Likely chosen with immense care. Something breathtakingly beautiful that made Zoe feel like the most radiant version of herself. Flattering to her figure, perhaps with delicate lace sleeves or a flowing skirt. Combining timeless elegance with modern grace. Accessible, allowing her to move comfortably and confidently, whether walking, using her chair, or dancing with Zach. Zach was deeply involved, too. This wasn't Zoe's day. It was their day. He had opinions on the music, the food, and the overall vibe. Warm, celebratory, but deeply personal. They worked as a team making decisions based on shared taste and the desire for genuine connection over showmanship. The guest list was tiny. Immediate family, of course. Jen, Bill, Will, possibly grandparents if close. A handful of Zoe's lifelong friends who had stood by her through thick and thin. A couple of Zach's closest friends and family members. We're talking perhaps 20 to 30 people maximum. Every single person invited was someone who knew and loved Zoe and Zach as individuals, not as TV characters. Security and strict NDAs were likely employed to protect their secret. Jen and Bill were reportedly overjoyed during the planning. JYN, the meticulous organizer, likely reveled in helping her daughter plan this intimate celebration, offering support without overshadowing. Bill, the emotional anchor, was probably constantly tearing up at the thought of walking his daughter down the aisle. Will, stepping into the role of brother of the bride, was excited and protective. The entire Klein or Arnold household buzzed with a contained joyful energy, all united in safeguarding Zoe and Zach's dream day. The day dawned. Perfect weather as if the universe itself was smiling on Zoe and Zach. At the chosen venue, a quiet hum of loving activity began. Floral arrangements smelling divine were placed with care. Delicate fairy lights and candles were lit. Chairs were set up for the intimate ceremony. The air crackled not with celebrity buzz, but with pure, unadulterated love and anticipation. In her private getting-ready space, Zoe was surrounded by her closest women. JYN, perhaps a beloved aunt, her best friend. The atmosphere was one of joyful tears and laughter. Makeup was applied to enhance her natural beauty, not mask it. Hair was styled elegantly. And then the dress. As she stepped into it, the room likely fell silent for a moment. Here was Zoe Klein, the little girl who faced unimaginable odds transformed into a breathtakingly beautiful bride, glowing with happiness and quiet confidence. Jen's tears of pride and joy were surely unstoppable. Meanwhile, Zach, looking sharp and handsome in his suit, was likely with Bill, Will, and his closest friend or family member. Nerves mixed with palpable excitement. Bill, preparing to give away the daughter he fought so hard for and loved so deeply, shared a poignant moment with Zach, a handshake, a hug, words of blessing, and welcome into the family. Will, likely the best man or a groomsman, offered brotherly support, and maybe cracked a joke to ease the tension. The ceremony space awaited, an intimate circle of chairs, an archway adorned with flowers. Soft music began to play, perhaps a string quartet or a single guitarist playing a song deeply meaningful to Zoe and Zach. The guests, the chosen few, took their seats, faces alight with emotion. Then the moment arrived. The music shifted. All heads turned. First Jen walked in, radiant, taking her place. Then perhaps the bridesmaids, and then Bill appeared, standing proudly beside Zoe. As Zoe began her walk down the aisle, supported by her devoted father, time seemed to stand still. The sheer magnitude of her journey, the medical battles, the public scrutiny, the personal growth culminated in this moment of pure triumphant love. She wasn't walking towards cameras. She was walking towards her future, towards Zach, and the look on Zach's face as he saw his bride. Witnesses describe it as pure unadulterated or love, an overwhelming joy. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Tears streamed down JYN's cheeks. Tears streamed down the faces of friends who had known Zoe since childhood. It was an ocean of happy tears. Bill placed Zoe's hand in Zach's. The efficient, perhaps a close friend or a welcoming spiritual leader, began. The ceremony was heartfelt and personal. Vows were exchanged, not generic phrases, but words written by Zoe and Zach themselves, reflecting their unique journey, their promises, their inside jokes, their deep devotion. They spoke of facing life's challenges together, celebrating joys big and small, supporting each other's dreams. Zach, you may kiss your bride. Their first kiss as husband and wife. The small gathering erupted in cheers, applause, and yes, more tears, especially from Jen and Bill, watching their daughter embark on this beautiful new chapter. The pure unscripted joy radiating from Zoe and Zach as they turned to face their loved ones was the only confirmation needed that this secret was worth keeping. The celebration that followed was everything they dreamed of. Intimate, warm, and filled with genuine love. Delicious food was shared. Heartfelt toasts were given. Bill's toast undoubtedly was a masterpiece of emotion. Cried for his daughter. Welcome for his new son-in-law. Gratitude for the journey laced with his signature humor. Jen's toast surely reflected her deep love, her hopes for their happiness, and her profound joy at seeing Zoe so loved and secure. Then came the dancing. Zoe and Zach took the floor for their first dance. Did Zoe dance standing, supported by Zach? Did they share a beautiful, graceful dance with Zoe in her chair, Zach moving with her in perfect harmony? However they chose, it was a moment of pure connection, a silent conversation of love and partnership witnessed by their nearest and dearest. Then Bill danced with his beaming daughter, a moment overflowing with paternal love and pride. Jen danced with her new son-in-law, sealing their bond. Will likely cut loose with his sister and friends. The dance floor, though small, pulsed with pure, unadulterated happiness throughout the evening. The overwhelming emotion radiating from Jen, Bill, and wasn't just happiness. It was profound, deep-seated joy. Joy seeing Zoe so radiantly happy. Joy welcoming Zach, who they genuinely loved and respected, officially into their family. Joy at the culmination of Zoe's incredible journey to this point. Joy at the sheer normality and beauty of the moment. A family celebrating love away from the spotlight. Insiders say Jen couldn't stop smiling. Bill couldn't stop hugging everyone, and Will was beaming with brotherly pride. It was by all accounts one of the happiest days of their lives. As the magical evening drew to a close, Zoe and Zach departed amidst a shower of sparklers or rose petals. Embarking on their honeymoon, another closely guarded secret location. The secret wedding was a resounding success. But why keep it such a closely guarded secret for so long? Zoe spent her formative years on camera. Choosing to have this most intimate life event completely private was a reclaiming of her autonomy, her right to a normal experience untouched by production schedules or public commentary. Zoe and Zach wanted their relationship to grow. Strong, deep roots without the pressure, speculation, or potential negativity that public scrutiny can bring. They wanted it to be theirs. They wanted every tear, every laugh, every vow to be 100% real, not performed for an audience. The intimacy fostered genuine, unfiltered emotion. For JYN, Bill, and Will, this was a sacred family moment. Keeping it private allowed them to be fully present purely as parents and brother, not as TV personalities. 5. Safety and well-being. Unfortunately, public figures, especially those with disabilities, can attract unwanted attention or negativity. Privacy was also a shield. Keeping this secret, especially in today's social media age, was a monumental feat. It speaks volumes about the loyalty of their tiny guest list and the family's unwavering commitment to respecting Zoe and Zach's wishes. It wasn't about deception. It was about profound love and respect. So, what now for Mr. Zach's? And Mrs. Zoe Klein, now a married woman, steps into this new chapter with her loving partner by her side. They likely reside near her supportive family in Houston. Zoe may be pursuing higher education or a career path aligned with her passions, perhaps science, writing, advocacy, or working with animals. Zach is building his own career. Together, they are building a life grounded in the love, mutual respect, and shared values that brought them together. JYN and Bill, they are overjoyed. They have gained not just a son-in-law, but a beloved member of their family. Their support for Zoe and Zach is unwavering, but respectful of their independence. They are likely relishing this new phase. Parents watching their children flourish as adults. Will, he has a fantastic brother.